Aglorev Magazine Live is brought to you by
Feroga Leilani's Energy Exchange. Express yourself without saying a word.
and
Aglorev Entertainment. Mind, body, soul, energy healing.
Welcome back to Aglorev Magazine Live. I started this magazine because I wanted to document the world's evolution during this period, because I know now will be a critical time in history. The world is rebranding itself, and I bring you information and tools to stay aware and navigate your portion of the earth and still keep your peace within. I hope that you are following along, applying the information to your life, going back to review if necessary, and tapping in to the 5D. Yes, things may appear scary, but a lot of distraction and a way to keep your fear centered and living in your lower 3 chakras, surviving, not thriving. But thriving is possible, even in this climate. Focus on what you can control, stay aware, and tune in every week for updates. I have more astrological guidance for you and ways to woo your most important person in the world on a date. An extravagant Venice wedding brings controversy and Trump's big, beautiful bill past another hurdle. Is love and marriage for everyone? Nelly and Ashanti's new reality show makes us question. Updates in both dialects of Love Island, and fun family movie recommendation. And as a reward for staying around, I've got the best laughs yet. So pay attention. There are no breaks. Down with our enemies. Mars in Virgo with South Node influence. On a personal level, look to the house that Virgo is in your chart. Have you noticed changes in your enemies? The reason that this Mars transit is different than Mars just passing through the other signs is because with the South Node, Mars is unavoidable. So you'll be dealing with a lot of Mars influenced things like enemies, strategy, and victories. And because Mars is also one of the rulers of Scorpio, where the dark moon is right now, you have mother enemies. Things are coming to the surface for us to get cleared out. Clear it. Clear the channel. Clear the void. Clear the energy. Done. Clear it out. We've got Mercury in Leo, which is ruling over the Virgo. There are going to be a lot of enemies revealed, especially in this moon cycle. Mercury is ruled by Leo, and the Sun right now is in Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. And there's a full moon on July 10th. So, if you're looking for clarity, that would be a day to just pay attention. Keep a lookout. It could be before then. It could be after then. This is especially going to be clearing enemies who are of the feminine. So, if you have feminine enemies, expect there to be some things that come to the surface. When it comes to the surface, and how it comes to the surface, are going to be 2 very important things to notice, because more than likely you are going to be presented with a situation or an opportunity to get it cleared. However it comes to the surface, Mars and the South Node in Virgo, and Virgo has to do with action. How it comes to the surface will more than likely be physical, symbolic. The other ruler of Scorpio is Pluto, which is in Aquarius. So we have primordial beings and nature involved. There could be animals involved, or nature beings, or how it comes to the surface will be an opportunity for you to handle it. One of the things I love about a Virgo placement is that when things are revealed with Virgo, it always comes in an action or in some sort of presence or being rather than in words, which allows immediate recognition. And when you see it clearly, you can then strategize exactly what to do in that situation. And however you handle what comes up with Virgo lets the universe know how to handle those enemies and throw back whatever was brought to you. So look at where your Virgo is in your birth chart and expect there to be some enemies revealed. Mars in Virgo will last until August 6th. And then Mars will move into Libra. And again, the South Node, Mars being with the South Node, kind of forces us to experience the energy and the grounding of the Earth. The good thing about this is that the South Node and the North Node are always moving retrograde. They're always going backwards, which means they are always undoing things. So enemies being revealed, cleared out. The South Node moving backwards is making sure that those enemies coming to the surface are being cleared out. Also, secrets. We have a dark moon in Scorpio, which means Mars is partially ruling over the dark moon in Scorpio, being with the South Node, bringing dark mother influence. Who would you consider to be a mother? They will let you know. Why are they around you? Are they an ally? Are they an enemy? What do they really want from you? You'll sort this whilst Mars is in Virgo, whether you really want to or not. So, if it comes to the surface, let yourself decide what you want to do with it after. Mars in Virgo usually has a pretty clear thinking process. Aries rules the head. So more than likely, you're going to be able to figure it out. Enemies being revealed may not necessarily be the most urgent thing right now. Or it might not necessarily need an urgent response. But if it does, you're going to know. We'll be closing a chapter of enemies. Whilst Mars in Virgo, and when Mars enters Libra August 6th, let justice be served. We're clearing out enemies now, and then let justice be served. Let the scales be balanced, and we'll receive a harvest from the work that we've done. For now, just get them out. Saturn and Neptune are conjunct, and also squaring Jupiter and the Sun in Cancer. What does that mean for us? So Saturn and Neptune conjunct is very much like spiritual order. Keep discipline within our practices, keeping discipline within our transitions. And because it's ruling over the North Node, we're continuing to walk towards this thing that's higher than the sky, this purpose that we don't know why we need it. We don't know why we do it, but we need to do it. And we really don't know how we're going to do it or how we're going to get there. But we just know that we will. Well, that's what's happening in Saturn and Neptune. And with Jupiter just moving into Cancer, we're in Cancer season. The Sun and Jupiter are pretty close together right now. And the season of luck is changing. What that means for you will show up in your birth chart. It is personal whether your luck will be changing for the better or reverse. Get your chart done. If you need a reading, contact me through my site. Hopefully, the luck stays good. Connected to the moon cycles, connected to moon weaving, connect to moon work. And it's connected to the eclipses. Eclipse luck is changing. Expect the next eclipse season of eclipses to be different. Jupiter squaring Saturn and Neptune squares, bringing this to the earth. They bring things to the ground. They say, be here, be in reality, and look around. Aries rules the head, Cancer rules the heart. Have you been talking to yourself? Have these internal conversations with the head and the heart. Get really serious about why you are here, where you are internally, and from a spiritual perspective. There's going to be spiritual support, a grounding, connection with the head in the heart, because Neptune is conjunct with Saturn. Talk to yourself. If you've been feeling yourself getting more serious about what is happening in the heart and in the head recently, remember to take a deep breath. And also, with Saturn being in the picture, remain consistent. With that connection, the more consistent you are when Saturn and Jupiter are connected, the more lucky you get. Both Saturn and Neptune are about to retrograde, so be consistent with yourself. You will reap the rewards of it once they do turn around and go retrograde. Within the first couple of weeks of July, Jupiter doesn't retrograde until November, so we have some time for that one. And on a personal note, Jupiter retrograde can get dodgy if you don't navigate it correctly. When Jupiter retrogrades, it'll be in Sagittarius season. There will be loads of changes. A lot of things will be different. So take the time to talk to yourself and help yourself through these transitions. And as you're sitting in these chats with yourself, you may start to gain some realizations. They may not seem important at the time, but when you look back, you'll realize that you really learned a lot. Paradigms have shifted, and the realizations are there to help you move forward into the next chapter, into your goals, and your transitions that you are going to create and become. And because Saturn is involved, don't do unnecessary things. Just keep together what you need to keep together. Do what you need to do and stay out of other people's business. If you do need to be there, if you feel the vibes are off, leave. Take care of you. Be a little bit selfish. Protect your energy. Be in your villain era. Remember, sometimes the villain and the hero are one and the same. One of the main reasons you don't like to spend time alone with yourself is likely due to the fact you don't actually date yourself like you date others. Whether it's a platonic relationship or a romantic one, we have a tendency to invest in them more than we do our own self-relationship. We forget that we need and should have a relationship with ourselves, which includes going on self-dates. In fact, dating yourself is probably the key element in building a self-relationship and learning how to enjoy your own company. We spend all of our energy on other relationships, yet neglect our own. We need to stop neglecting and start investing in ourselves, and that brings with taking ourselves out on proper dates. Just like we do with others, dating yourself is not only an essential step in building a strong, healthy, and deep relationship and connection with yourself. It's also one of the best ways to spend quality time alone. Time of high value that will help you grow closer to yourself, as well as appreciate and feel better about yourself and who you are. This means taking purposeful action, starting to be proactive and taking charge of your self-dating life. Combine the following elements into your self-dating life so that you can learn how to do it properly. 1. Spend quality time with yourself. More often than not, the main reason we don't enjoy our own company is due to the fact that we just don't spend quality time by ourselves. This means that we don't actually go out of our way in effort to make our alone time significant and valuable. We don't do anything of importance. We don't make it good enough to actually want to do. And the time we spend alone, we waste on telly and social media, and then comparing ourselves to others. We get lazy with ourselves and don't put in the work necessary to make our alone time quality, which leads us to dreading and avoiding our alone time and treating it like a punishment. When we spend valuable quality time with ourselves, we will start enjoying this time and even looking forward to it. 2. Schedule alone time. If you don't actually make time for yourself, you won't ever have any time for yourself. We like to say we don't have time, that we're busy, too busy, and life is hectic. But somehow we still find time for the things that matter to us, or just do nothing and lounge around. You need to make the decision that you are important and your self-dates are important, and when you make the time for you, it will automatically give you the sense of importance. You need to make a point of scheduling time for yourself and for your dates, and find time to make it happen. If you don't, then it will just never happen. 3. Make it different and special. If you're single, you're most likely spending more time alone than when you were in a relationship. You don't need to spend all of your time doing something overly unique and valuable. But you do need to make sure that when you take yourself on a date, you make it extra special, especially since you're spending more time alone. You need to find ways to differentiate between that and your self-date time. It can't just be like every single day and the time you spend with yourself. It has to feel and be different and take an extra effort to make it as such. There's no need to go all out or do something over the top. But you do need to make sure to add that extra spice to it, something that will elevate it and make it much more unique. Many of us neglect ourselves and invest in others more. We cheer them on more. We believe in them more. We show up for them more, and so on. It's time to start doing the same for yourself. Your singlehood is the best time and opportunity to start learning how to put yourself first. Investing comes in different forms: time, money, and energy. This is a special occasion, and as such, you need to devote the time for it without feeling rushed. You need to put in that energy and time to create an amazing date, and you need to be willing to pay what's needed to invest in yourself. 5. Do it regularly. Taking yourself out for just one date won't do much, just like one workout won't get you into shape, and one shower will not keep you clean forever. You need to be persistent and consistent for it to have a significant impact on your life. for it to help you improve your self-relationship. It doesn't have to be every single week. And there's never a right amount. Just the right one for you and what makes you happy. You need to choose a frequency that you can stick to and be consistent. Whether it's once a week, twice a month, or once a month. Anything less than that won't be very effective, in my opinion. You also need to remove existing bad, negative, and toxic habits. Don't stand yourself up. Don't distract yourself or escape with your phone. Stop putting others first and scheduling yourself last. Stop being stingy with yourself. You are the most important person in your life. Be your first true love so that you can truly love someone else. Just days after Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos tied the knot with Lauren Sanchez in an extravagant $50 million wedding in Venice, Italy, the former chat show host, Rosie O'Donnell, 63, took to Instagram Monday, the 30th of June, to trash the newly married couple over the gross event. The Bezos wedding. It turned my stomach, she wrote. Seeing all those billionaires gathering in the gross excess of it all. The show of it. She also criticised the star-studded guest list, which included celebrities such as Oprah Winfrey, the Kardashians Jenner family, Leonardo DiCaprio, Orlando Bloom, Tom Brady, Sydney Sweeney, and many others. Is Oprah friends with Jeff Bezos? O'Donnell questioned. Really? How is that possible? He treats his employees with disdain by any metric. He is not a nice man. The comedian went on to call Sanchez, 55, a fake fembot wife before praising Bezos' first wife, Mackenzie Scott. Bezos, 61, and Scott, 55, divorced in 2019 after nearly 25 years of marriage. She walked away with $38 billion in a 4% stake in Amazon after the split and has pledged to give away at least half of her wealth. And his fake fembot wife, O'Donnell continued, alongside then and now images of Sanchez. Who looks like that? Why would he choose her after the salt of the earth, Mackenzie? He sold his soul, is what it looks like from here. The devil is smiling. The Flintstones actress included before directing her nearly 700,000 followers to her Substack blog. O'Donnell, who moved to Ireland earlier this year with her 12-year-old non-binary child, Clay, was not the only celebrity to slam Bezos and Sanchez's over their lavish Italian wedding on Friday, June 27th. Charlize Theron also threw her shade at the newlyweds during her 5th annual Charlize Theron Africa Outreach Project block party over the weekend. I think we might be the only people who did not get an invite to the wedding, the monster actress, 49, said during the Los Angeles event on Saturday. But that's okay, because they suck and we're cool, she added, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Theron thanked her audience for taking the time to be part of this, especially when the world feels like it's burning. Because it is. Yeah, F them, she added. Korik, 68, even called Sanchez's Dolce & Gabbana gown tacky in a scathing social media post. Meanwhile, other celebrities used Bezos and Sanchez's multi-day wedding celebration to praise the billionaire's awesome first wife. How awesome is Mackenzie Scott, Jeff Bezos' first wife and mother of his 4 children. Mia Farrow, 80, wrote on Instagram Saturday, as of mid-December 2024, she had given a total of $19.3 billion over to 1,600 charity organizations. Truly incredible, Olivia Munn responded, whilst Rosanna Arquette commented, she's a force of humanity and good. I personally am a fan of love in all forms, and I know there is controversy surrounding this wedding and all of the circumstances that led up to it. But as a fan and supporter of love, I wish the pair happiness and longevity. The House Rules Committee has teed up President Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill for a chamber-wide vote Wednesday, after a nearly 12-hour-long session debating the massive piece of legislation. It now heads to the entire chamber for consideration, where several Republicans have already signaled their concern with various aspects of the measure. Just 2 Republicans voted against reporting the bill out of committee. Representative Ralph Norman, Representative Chip Roy of Texas, conservatives who have expressed reservations with the bill earlier on Tuesday. No Democrats voted to advance it, whilst the remaining 7 Republicans did. The majority of Republican lawmakers appeared poised to advance the bill, however, believing it's the best possible compromise vehicle to make Trump's campaign promises a reality. This bill is President Trump's agenda, and we are making it law. House Republicans are ready to finish the job and put the one big beautiful bill on President Trump's desk in time for Independence Day. House GOP leaders said in a joint statement after the Senate passed the bill on Tuesday. The House Rules Committee acts as the final gatekeeper before most pieces of legislation get a chamber-wide vote. Democrats attempted to delay the panel's hour-long hearing by offering multiple amendments that were shot down along party lines. They criticized the bill as a bloated tax cut giveaway to wealthy Americans at the expense of Medicaid coverage for the lower-income people. Democrats have also accused Republicans of adding billions of dollars to the national debt, chiefly by extending Trump's 2017 tax cuts. I don't know what it means to be a fiscal hawk, because if you vote for this bill, you're adding $4 trillion to the debt, Representative Gwen Moore of California, Democrat, said during the debate on the measure. Republicans have gone on TV for months and months and months, solemnly insisting to the people of America that this bill is going to cut the debt, that this will not hurt anybody on Medicaid, just those lazy bums and unworthy people. But Republicans have said the bill is targeted relief for middle and working class Americans, citing provisions temporarily allowing people to deduct taxes from tipped and overtime wages, among others. If you vote against this bill, you're voting against the child tax credit being at $2,200 per child at the end of this year. It will drop to $1,000. That makes a huge impact to 40 million hardworking Americans. And it's simply, when they vote no, they're voting against $2,200 child tax credit. And they're okay with $1,000. House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Jason Smith, representative of Missouri, said, if you listen to the Democrats here, they say this is all about billionaires and millionaires. No tax on tips. No tax on overtime work. How many millionaires and billionaires, Madam Chair, work by the hour. The bill numbers more than 900 pages and includes Trump's priorities on taxes, the border defense, energy, and the national debt. An initial version passed the House in May by just one vote. But the Senate has since made multiple key modifications to Medicaid, tax cuts, and the debt limit. Moderates are wary of the Senate measures that would shift more Medicaid costs to the states that expand their programs under Obamacare. Whilst conservatives have said those cuts are not enough to offset the additional spending in other parts of the bill, several key measures were also removed during the bird bath, a process in the Senate where legislation is reviewed so that it can be fast-tracked under the budget reconciliation process, which must adhere to a strict set of fiscal rules among those conservative critics. Representative Scott Perry, Republican of Pennsylvania, and Andy Ogles, Republican of Tennessee, introduced resolutions to change the Senate version to varying degrees. Ogles' amendment would have the most dramatically changed the bill. If passed, it would have reversed the legislation back to the House version. Perry's amendment were aimed at tightening the roll back of green energy tax credits created by the former Biden administration's Inflation Reduction Act. Another amendment by Representative Andrew Clyde, Republican of Georgia, would have restored certain Second Amendment related provisions stripped out by the bird bath. Any changes to the legislation would have forced it back into the Senate, likely delaying Republican self-imposed 4th of July deadline to get the bill onto Trump's desk. The full House is expected to begin considering the bill at 9 a.m. Eastern Time Wednesday. Sometime that morning, House lawmakers will vote on whether to begin debating the bill, a procedural measure known as a rule vote. If that's cleared, a final vote on the bill itself is expected sometime later Wednesday. Speaker Mike Johnston, representative of Louisiana, conceded on Tuesday evening that poor weather in Washington that forced a number of flight delays could also weigh on Wednesday's attendance, depending on how many lawmakers are stuck outside of the Capitol. We're monitoring the weather closely, Johnson told reporters, that a lot of delays right now. With all lawmakers present, Republicans can only afford to lose 3 votes to still advance both the rule vote and the final bill, without any Democratic support. Okay, so we are discussing the new Ashanti and Nelly reality show. And this is something I wanted to highlight, even though it's not a competition show, because of the fact these are, even though they are celebrity, they are in the public eye, they do have money. They are both working parents with a new baby. And it's kind of an example of how you can create a married single mother situation. So women know that even though you have that ring, even though you found that man, even though you have that family, you could still be a single mum within that relationship, and all the responsibilities and all of the things that come with being a single mum, all the stresses, all the time management, all of the pressures, etc. So please understand, watch this as an example of what is possible even in a wealthy relationship. He even said he would get her a nanny. Are these things that you want, that you're willing to undergo what sort of a relationship are you wanting in your relationship, and what sort of family do you want to have? These are things that you need to decide for yourself, so that when these things are displayed for you, you know how to respond. He even still says he will not move for her, even though they are married and she has a child. He still will not bend on that. Yes, they have money to travel, but the fact that he does not love her enough, or the fact that he is not willing to compromise or give her her way, that's very feminine energy. And this whole Diddy thing, I'm not saying anything about him, but it's feminine. So yeah, that being said, love their music, but do watch it as an example of something that could occur even in a wealthy relationship, in a relationship that has lasted decades, in a relationship where you've been through a lot and you have a similar career, similar ideals, and all of those things. Still not immune. So keep that in mind when you are seeking your relationship. Know your boundaries, know what type of family you want to have, know what sort of a partner you want in rearing of the children, in financial, in time management. Is this someone you want to see every day, or is this someone you'd be okay with seeing part-time? Do you want to live at the same places? If they are not willing to move, is it a deal breaker? If they do not help you with the children, he's had many children, this is her first, so they're kind of on different playing fields there as well. Yeah, so use it as a lesson and a model to shape what you want without actually having to go through it yourself. That is what reality television shows for me are. They are ways of learning from other people's mistakes or lifestyles and understanding if that's something I would want to incorporate in my life, or it's just good information and a warning. So use this as a cautionary tale to decide how you would like to mold your relationships, as well as family and deal breakers in that area as well. If marriage is something that you seek for yourself, that might not even be something that you want, then it doesn't even matter. But yes, if you are looking to be married, understand you could still be a married single mum. So Ashanti Nelly new reality show, check it out, see what works, see what resonates, see what doesn't, and help you shape and mold yourself to a better idea of what your relationship, your ideal relationship is. So yeah, that's the benefits of a reality show and their red flags. Great artist though, amazing talent. But yeah, relationship, we'll see where it comes, goes as the child gets older. Hopefully they make it to 2 and 3 years old, which is when Nelly says he's going to start actually communicating with the child. Until then, she's a single mum, so hopefully they make it past then and can be a full unit family. I don't know how much longer she can have children, but yeah, maybe they can have more. But also keep in mind, the more children you have, the more tied you are to that man. I love men. I do. Thank you. Love Island UK did everything that I did not want it to do, but I knew it would. Okay, so Shakira backslides to Harry. She was showing the most emotional matureness now. Helena still hooked on Harry. Everyone fancies Harry, but he's the worst one, the one who should be the most mature. They've even said it. So the thing is, it's like just saying it, but your actions do different. It doesn't excuse the behavior. It just makes you a little bit more of a fool, and you got. So everyone's swapping, except for Megan, the most on paper toxic one, are the ones sticking together. And that's probably because it is the most toxic one, and Dejan feels he has something special with her because of all the drama. So what's actually happening is this show is addicting you to toxic behavior. It's addicting you to the drama. It's addicting you to being cockholded, watching your partner be with somebody else and saying it's okay. It's there are a lot of things that are happening, and none of them are healthy. And yet these are the things that find their way into our dating culture because of these shows being so popular. And it's not their fault. because they are a victim of this society where this behavior is shown and exalted. And that is proving why I should be doing these updates. The thing is, Shakira was showing the most emotional intelligence. She's backslid to Harry. She said she would never do that. He said that there was something unfinished. She's proving him right. And now that he's with Shakira, he's telling Helena there's unfinished. Basically, what these men are doing, they're breadcrumbing you, they're stringing you along, they're keeping you, they're never shutting the door completely to see if they can go back. And that is what happens in dating culture, when they ghost you, when they breadcrumb you, when they leave and then they see if they can come back. Watch it in real life happen. See how it works. You can see both sides in the diary room, and as well as what they're saying to the girl. You see how the story changes. You see the tactics, the maneuvers, the manipulation. It's right there for you. So instead of buying into the dating culture and accepting it, take the lesson that this is how they move. This is how they present themselves to you. These are the things they're telling you. These are the things that they're all believing, even though they've said that they recognize what is going on, and yet they still fall for it. So you have to be better. You have to be stronger. And the toxic one is the only healthy one, the only one that is stable and holding. So, yeah, at this point, there are no healthy examples in the villa. Maybe they will bring some fresh energy in. Yasmin and Ben. Ben cracks me up though. I really do hope they find someone for Ben, because Ben is trying. Ben really wants to find a match. It's just, he doesn't like anyone, and rightfully so, because they're all toxic. Now, he did like Shakira. Shakira was the healthiest of them all, but again, she backslid. So now, in a weird way, Benji is the most stable. He is the one with the pet. He's not willing to pretend. He's not willing to go along with something just to stay in the villa. In a weird way, Benji, who has never had a relationship or practice, is moving the best. Yasmin's looking masculine. That's all I gotta say on that. There's another one that kind of, actually Helena. Helena kind of looks like she has a little bit of an apple. So does Yasmin, but whatever. I don't know. Do they have transgender in there? But the thing is, yeah, it's very entertaining. A lot's happening. The backsliding keeps it juicy so that we keep watching. And yeah, we will see what happens as the temptation comes. But in the irony of this, the end of this week, Ben is at the top in health, and Shakira slid down to almost the bottom. Maybe not the very bottom, because maybe Harry will always have that, but she's down there with him, keeping him company. So good job, Benji, and hopefully we find someone for you so we can test and see if you really do have some green flag behaviors that, since it's new to you, hopefully can mold better. And that is not a lesson to the ladies. You do not need to be teaching. However, if there is that natural innate, nurture it. There's a delicate balance, fine line. It all depends on what it's worth to you. So let this be a lesson. Know what behaviors to look for, and don't just accept them because of the fact that they're in the show. And another thing, this whole kissing and snogging and tongues in the mouth, know that germs, bacteria, oral health passes. You're sharing these mouth germs with all these people. You don't know if they have abscessed teeth. You don't know what their hygiene is about. You don't know if they have bacteria or STIs transferred through the mouth. Be careful who you let in contact with any part of your body, even skin contact with the hands. Be mindful of who you let in your energy, because they can affect you for the rest of your life after they're gone, whether it be with knocking you up with a baby or affecting you with an illness that is not curable. So always validate and check people before you even let them touch their mouth to yours. It makes it seem so mainstream and it doesn't matter. But yes, it does. Kissing someone is almost as sacred as intercourse. Treat it as such. Don't allow everyone to know what the inside of your mouth tastes like. And on that note, they'll probably be spitting stuff in each other's mouths next week. But anyway, it's entertaining. I love it, which is why we keep coming back. I'm just here to guide you so that you do not accept this as behavior in your dating culture. So please, know the difference. Do not do what everyone is doing. Respect and protect yourself. And watch it for entertainment. Love Island US does not disappoint. It threw me through a roller coaster of emotions. When I thought they evicted Nick and Alundria, I was like, how could they give Casa so much power? I was angry. I was like, how can you give these peasants, for lack of a better word, the power to evict the king and queen? I was livid. But they are smart producers and writers in that show, because they know to put you on that emotional roller coaster, get you more emotionally connected to the show, and it increased the viewing. It was genius. It's really genius. I still don't 100% know how I feel about having all of them come back, but they're giving everyone a shot, so I do, that's great. Now, surprisingly, Love Island US has a little bit more healthy behavior, but not because of the show, because of the people. Olandria, she is at the top right now, which at first I thought Shelley could be there, but no, Shelley is showing a lot of, but it could be her youth. But anyway, Olandria, she knows when to let go. She knows she is loyal. She does have signs of being a midnight ballerina, as does Huda and Shelley. They have really good, or they could just have taken a strip aerobics class, I don't know. But the thing is, the boundaries, being able to control herself, although she is showing a little bit of signs of entertaining him again. But she's at the top. I'd say Shelley is still kind of up there, but her playing is breaking my heart a little bit, because she has such a cute couple, and that she's trying to dabble with Chris. And then Chris, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's a Casa Amor fella. Why did he bring him back? Could have brought him back because she needed someone. I am gutted, actually, that they evicted Jeremiah, and let that be a lesson that your mates who you think have your back, they don't always. That was a shock. He picked his mates over Huda, but when it came down to it, they voted him out. And Huda, being a single mum, I would expect to move a little bit differently by the way she said, I'm protecting and I am not casting stones. It's just based on the things you say when your actions don't align. She's moving a little bit like she's single with no children, and just saying that she has a daughter, because they were already having intercourse, and they were already doing, like, she was very aggressive with that relationship. It may just be circumstantial. It may have just been with Jeremiah. Huda is the most entertaining, so she's great to watch. How I feel about her, I'm still undecided, because she does show signs of always needing the attention, the spotlight, even at the expense. She's very male-centered. She is very all about, as long as she's getting that attention, she doesn't think about anything else. Hopefully her and Shelley become mates again. That's an interesting situation. Austin's interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about him, because my dog goes off with him a lot. He may be fluid, I'm not sure, but something about him, I can't put my finger on it, but we'll see with him. Well, I'll leave reservations for him. But Nick and Ciara are probably, at this point, the healthiest. However, Ciara is showing signs of going to break Nick's heart, unfortunately. I was hard on Nick because he got rid of the girl who didn't want to kiss him first, but he is showing signs of being loyal, even though he did kiss Alandria. He is all in it with Ciara, but I don't think she's returning that to him. But with a lot of relationships, that's kind of how it is. One will be more into the other than they are, which is kind of what's going on with Shelley and Ace. And that breaks my heart a little bit, because Ace, he put in so much effort. He won her. He really cares about her. He chose her, even though he didn't choose her the first time. I was bothered by that, but he did choose her once he decided. And in a way, you know, you could say that she could take her time to get to know somebody else, because that's what he did. And now, just because it's in reverse, it seems like she's being ungrateful. We'll see how that goes, because I think he's losing steam because he feels that once he locked it down, she should be locked down as well. So, yeah, ladies. In a way, that is a very good example that Shelley is showing, because just because he is locked down, just because he put in all that energy and effort, does not mean you need to be obligated to lock yourself down for him. You do it when it feels ready. You do it when it feels right. You be what you want to be until you don't want to be that anymore. Simple. So in that way, Shelley's doing great. Yeah. But I feel my heart goes out to Ace, because he is putting an effort in. He is doing well. He is also kind of playful in the challenges, which he takes full advantage of, but that is the nature of the show. They do encourage cockholding. That is a weird, it's and the spread of germs, like it's like a cesspool of germs in there. Do not, I know it's fun, I know you need to experiment, but do it safely. Do it safely. Make sure you're in a place where you are not going to regret a decision that will damage your body for a long time, or life even. So that's the only thing I have to say about that. It's incredibly entertaining. They put you on a roller coaster of emotions. It makes you more invested. Casa Amor, still not sure if they should have given them all that power or brought them all back, because now it's cluttered, and now you have a lot of lukewarm relationships when you could have had that passion when they find out, oh, I chose you instead of the Casa person. So that's the only thing, that they're all lukewarm now. There's no real like hot. But I'm sure they'll do something else to kind of stir it up and bring us something else. But this week was full of amazing twists and turns, and so it's incredibly entertaining. Just make sure to differentiate between reality shows and real life. And yeah, let's see who they bring in, and hopefully it's people that we approve of, and hopefully they bring in someone for Alandria to take her mind off that stupid cowboy. I can't even he's on the deal too, and so is Chris. Anyway, yeah, but I mean, yeah, anyway, this is not that type of update, but also be good at recognizing that, because they won't always tell you. And even though it's okay if they tell you, and being fluid is, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's the fact that they're hiding it. That's when it's a danger to you and your health. So as long as they're open about it, make a choice, give you the opportunity to choose. But if they're hiding their sexuality, no. You have to be good at picking those things up. But that'll be another video. So let's see what they do for us. Okay, so we are going to be discussing Back in Action, which is appropriately titled Cameron Diaz, after a decade of not being in any sort of film, television role, is back in action, and she came back with a vengeance. Now, this film is not going to be your, date night movie, or your, it's something you can watch by yourself, or maybe with family. It is a family type film. It's feel good, it's adorable, it has a little bit of action, none of the red stuff, none of the crimson fluid, but it does have a little bit of violence. It is child friendly, it does have teenagers in it, adorable actors. It is a cute plot. Like I said, it is not going to be like that blockbuster, oh my gosh, this is my favorite film. It is entertaining, it is fun, it's for the family, it's something you watch by yourself, or maybe something that you can have on and not 100% pay attention to. But it is something that I do feel would be nice to watch. It has great acting, great actors. Cameron Diaz is back and I like to support her. She's great in her role, and and welcome back. Hopefully we see her in some more things. Jamie Foxx, as always, always does a great job. There's not really a twist turn plot like something that keeps you riveted, but it's entertaining, it's fun, it's feel good, and it's something you can watch with all ages. So just another good film that you can watch, and hopefully it brings you some enjoyment and entertainment during this time. So I'll keep looking for good things to watch, and hopefully I'll find something as amazing as The Gorge. The Gorge is what made me start this series, because it just hit me on all levels. Romance, action, passion, funny, sci-fi, all of those things. It was just twists and turns, edge of your seat, the plot, everything. They don't really make things like that anymore. I'm still looking. I'll bring them to you if I find them. But until then, I'll just bring you entertaining ones that hopefully you will, at least 3 stars or above. 3 stars or above. If it's a 5-star, I'll let you know. That'll be a great date. Well, depending on what kind of date you want to have. If you want to actually talk to them, or if you want to watch it. But anyway, yes. Back in Action. Check it out by yourself with some kids. Might even be a good date night, but it's not going to be like that passion. It's family. But check it out. Cameron Diaz back in action. She's great.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce the talented young lady that has put this all together week after week. Put your hands together in welcoming Veroga Leilani to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hi, how is everyone doing tonight? I hate salutations. Greetings from strangers drive me mad. There is no reason why a stranger needs to know about my physical well-being or my state of mind.
Nope.
Unless they are a psychiatrist or an EMT. 1, they don't know me enough to care. And 2, what are they actually going to do about it? How are you? Well, I'm bleeding out of my arse and I'm higher than a 747 on this LAZAR. And that was the first time a stranger stuck a tampon up my arse and then begged me. No, I love greetings. I think that was a tampon. And it was actually a quality meal. Hey. I bet it was better than what you got on this date. No shade. Hey.
Hey.
You alright?
Amazing now.
And check out the latest from Aglorev Entertainment for all of your level up needs.